We're live.
Welcome to the Lost Together podcast. I'm Joe, and this is my attempt to convince Morgan that Lost is one of the greatest shows ever written, produced, acted in, directed, shot in Hawaii. I don't have this spiel memorized, if you can't tell. It's not the exact same way every time. I think that's how a good catchphrase works, right? It's not exactly the same way every time.
Listen, my little Dungeons and Dragons podcast that I've been listening to that I've mentioned multiple times. Well, I've started a new one since I think the one that we started with originally. But anyway, it is a different one. But yeah, one of the characters, he's a crunchy, munchy, granola eating, Birkenstock wearing, hippy dippy dad, whatever. And he never gets it right. It's the same, like 7 or 8 words. He never ever gets it. So that's part of the fun.
Part of the charm, really. If we were a professionally produced podcast, there's a lot of things that we'd do differently. Like we might have a different wardrobe.
This is what I wore to work. That's his.
This is my
outfit.
My home outfit. I'm feeling super comfortable, so I figured, why not, right?
I'm wearing jeans. I think probably for the first time ever on this podcast, y'all are seeing denim on me. I hate wearing jeans.
I mean, I don't ever wear jeans.
No, you wear chinos.
They're not chinos. I mean, I think Are they chinos? Is it chino the material or the color?
I think it's the style.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah. Anyway,
okay.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to the Lost Together podcast, where today we're discussing Season 4, Episode 6 of Lost, which is called The Other Woman. And it was originally aired on March 6th, 2008. So I was wondering if any of these episodes of Lost would have appeared on my birthday. Since I'm...
Well, surely.
No, not necessarily, because there's only 6 seasons. So, I'll have to take a look and see.
Yeah, but there's 500 episodes.
Yeah, but I don't know, was it Thursdays? Actually, I don't know the original run of Lost, what day of the week it was on, come to think of it.
I don't know.
Either way, we're talking about The Other Woman, and this was a Juliet episode, and I think that...
Was it on your birthday?
No, it wasn't. When I told Morgan that March 6th is not my birthday, baby.
Well, no, you randomly were like, I always wondered if one was on my birthday, and I thought you were going to say, this one was on my birthday.
Yeah, but I said that after I said March 6th.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you did not.
You're gonna feel really silly when we
I
watch
didn't
this
hear
back
that.
because
one of us is gonna look real dumb.
It's you. So, because I said the title of the episode and that it debuted on March 6th, 2008, and then I said, I wonder if one of these is on my birthday. I like how we're doing the Desmond going back in time thing and just playing this exact moment out again for our watchers, viewers, listeners, friends. Executive producers. So what'd you think about this Juliet episode?
It was good. When I found out, last time we recorded that it was a Juliet episode, I was like, oh God. Like kind of how I feel about Jack episodes. I'm like, oh. There is some seriously interesting shit going on the island that I would like to know more about rather than Jack and Juliet and Kate.
Except that in this episode, you get an awful lot of Jack and Juliet and Kate.
Yes, but it was good. It was good. I have a special little corner on the couch. It's my place. And I had my little blanket pulled up, just cuddled watching this episode. And there were multiple times where I was like, what? Oh my God. Love it. Love a oh my God moment.
Yeah. So why don't we just get right into the recap, because there's a lot to talk about. It's a surprisingly eventful episode.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit.
For a Juliet episode, it's surprisingly eventful. Yeah. I feel like the Jack episodes are pretty eventful usually.
Yeah, but the Jack episodes I feel like are more layered, and Juliet's episodes are here is some physical shit that is happening or has happened.
I wonder if they did that to try to get people more invested in Juliet.
I don't know. Jack's stuff feels really emotional and because we all know that his dad sucks or whatever. So any bad thing that happens, you already know, like, oh my God, poor Jack is facing this trial as a damaged, harmed, unhealed child.
Yeah, I mean, they're all kind of damaged and harmed and unhealed. I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah, but we, as an audience, don't really get to see literally anybody else being like, well, Hurley, our other emotional character.
That's an interesting question about who's the emotional core of the show, and we can get into that.
Well, yeah, I mean, Hurley and Jack both are, but they serve different roles.
I think early in the series you would have said John Locke was.
Yeah.
Not now. Let's get into it.
Okay.
Do a recap.
So we start this episode with like kind of finding out, Juliet's been on the island like a day, 2 days, whatever. Like, she's new. She gets shown to her beautiful house with her front porch and 3-bedroom, 2-bath, whatever. And she's like, "Oh my God, Ben, you shouldn't have done all this. I'm only going to be here for 6 months." And Ben's like, "I just wanted you to feel at home." So, she does feel at home with somebody else's husband named Goodwin.
Yep.
I was like, Juliet is in like, a lab, doctor's office, whatever, and she's crying. And I actually thought it was a pretty convincing cry. She was like, it was a good cry. So she's like, and then a man walks in, and he's like, "Oh, I put my arm up against a transformer, and I'm hurt." And then she's like, then wraps it up. She says, "By the way, I know a chemical burn when I see one." And he's like, "Well, it can be really hard on this island, and you got to do what you got to do, and whatever." So she wraps his arm up, and then he goes like, "I'm Goodwin." Oh, I forgot a really important part of that whole interaction. Back up, Juliet is doing like mandated therapy, which I think every person who's alive,
everyone could use some therapy.
I've never ever met a person who did not need therapy. Never in my life. So she's doing therapy, and the therapist is kind of a bitch, a little icy. Therapists are supposed to be like friends, like your trusted friend. And this lady was absolutely not. Her name was Harper. So, they get like 3 or 4 questions into the bullshit, like, get to know you appointment that you have with any therapist that you ever have. And then, was it Mr. Friendly comes in and he goes like, "Hey, Juliet, Ben needs you like right now." Yeah.
Ben would like to see her. He
Yeah.
says.
So, that's the end of their interaction. So, when Goodwin and Juliet are together and he's getting his transformer burn treated, he says like, "How you getting along? Maybe you need somebody to talk to. How you getting along with the therapist?" And she's like, "Well, she's kind of a bitch." Not exactly, but to surmise. And then he goes, "Well, that's my wife." That was one of my moments, because damn, I mean, she was like, so Goodwin's like, "Well, whatever." Juliet says, "Okay, I won't tell anybody about your chemical burn if you don't tell your wife what I just said." And he's like, "Deal." Next thing we know, they're fucking. They're laid out having a beautiful, super romantic little, she's got her head laid up on him on the beach. And, he's like, "I hate that we have to be so secretive. My friend, you're married, so, it's part of the package you're signing up for, And Juliet says, "Oh, sorry, before that, another get-together with Harper and Juliet." And Harper's like, so what was your relationship like with your mother? And Juliet's like, wah, 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 wah. And then Harper cuts her off and says, when did you start sleeping with my husband?
Mm-hmm.
And this was before we as an audience knew that they were sleeping together. So I was like, this bitch. And, oh no, we did know. We knew already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Juliet has got the worst poker face in this situation. And she's like, I don't know what you mean. And then Harper's like, listen, bitch, I don't even really care, but Ben's going to have a problem with this, and so I don't want Goodwin to get hurt. So if you continue this relationship, he's going to get hurt. And Juliet is like, I literally don't know what you mean. So later down the road, Juliet comes over to Ben's house, and she's got this like ginormous basket of Parker House rolls. Old Sister Schubert's the best dinner roll. Comes in, there's like a shit ton of them. And Ben...
It's seriously like 20 rolls.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's more than a baker's dozen.
Well, yeah, because she thinks she's been invited to a dinner party, but psych, Ben... She walks in and Ben's like, let me get the ham out of the oven. He pulls it out and she's like... She sees that there's only like 2 table settings. She says, I thought this was a dinner party. And then Ben says, it's not. So it's a date. He's like manufactured a date. And she says, I hope you like dinner rolls. And he said, I do indeed. So, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, oh God. What happens next? Oh, I guess then there's like the flashback of the plane coming apart on the island and Ben giving the instruction to Ethan and Goodwin to go out. That's when Juliet tells Goodwin, like, hey, when they're having their little beach thing, she's like, hey, he says, I don't know why we have to be so secretive. And she says, I just don't think it's a good idea because Ben wouldn't like it. And Goodwin's like, Ben has so much shit to worry about. You think that he's worried about you? And she's like, maybe. So, you know, we all know Ben and Goodwin go out to do their little missions with the plane, and they both end up dead.
Ben and Goodwin. Ethan
and Goodwin go out.
Well, don't forget, too, that there's a point where they're looking through the microscope, Ben and Juliet, and then Goodwin pops by, and he's like,
with the egg salad sandwich.
The egg salad sandwich, yeah. And Ben, essentially, you could tell from his body language that he kind of picks up there what's going on.
He was like, oh.
And then it was after that he sent Goodwin to the...
Yeah.
Yeah, to the other camp.
Yeah, to go get murked by Ana Lucia. So, Ben takes Juliet to go look at Goodwin's decomposing, impaled body, which I thought was pretty fucked up.
It is.
That's the second most fucked up thing I think he's done.
After...
killing literally everybody he knows. Mm-hmm. Like, that's selfish and whatever. I mean, I guess I could rationalize that decision as like a self-preservation thing first and then fueled by rage maybe and being misunderstood. But that thing with Juliet, that was calculated, that was hateful, that was an evil thing that he did. And she cries and says like, why did you show me this? Why did you show me this? And he says, oh, what do you mean, like instead of his wife? And what the hell does Juliet, what can she say to that? Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dirty. So, I guess that's kind of the...
Well, don't forget let's do the actual quote from where Ben takes her out to...
Oh, yeah, he says, she says, like, why did you show me this? Why? And he says, what do you mean, like, instead of his wife? And he says, after everything I did to get you here and everything I've done to keep you here, you think that you're anything but mine?
He said, how could you possibly not understand? You're mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like...
horrified,
As you would be.
Also, Harper mentions at one point Ben being smitten with her a little bit.
Yes.
He says, how could he not be? You look just like her.
Oh, yeah. Which we, as an audience, know she looks like his mom.
Which, ooh.
Is that the Oedipus?
Oedipus, yeah.
Oedipus, yeah.
Oedipus complex, yeah.
Is that the art within the art? Did
no.
I figure it out?
No, but there's a lot of art within the art in this one. There's a couple, so.
Yeah.
Oedipus doesn't really work for this, no. No.
Well, they say that people look for partners who either mirror or completely don't mirror their parents.
Yeah, it's, but in terms of the Oedipus story, Oedipus Rex,
it's the you meet your destiny on the road you take to avoid it situation.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oogway.
Everybody in that story meets their destiny on the road they take to avoid it.
I've never...
and there's lots of... And also, Oedipus ends up gouging his own eyes out after figuring out what he's done, So
I'm not sure if I found out that's what I had done, that my eyes would be the thing.
I think first of all, I think he's... I actually, thinking back on Oedipus, I'm not sure that he hears the prophecy. I know his parents do, because his parents are, the king and queen.
And that's why he got sent away.
Well, yeah,
right?
Because he was sent to be murdered. Like, his parents didn't send him away. They had these guards go out and murder him. Okay? And when the guards took him out, they're like, we can't do this. Gross, right? And so they just, gave him to some people or whatever, and they were like, don't bring him back. Right? And so they brought him...
Like a Hercules.
Yeah, somewhere else. And then, because the prophecy was you'll kill your father and bed your mother, basically. And, right? And they were like, gross, right? So they were like, kill this thing, right? Because the king's like, I don't want to die, and that's super gross, right? So let's send Oedipus on. So they send him away. And then he becomes like a prince or something in the land that he got sent to. And he's just traveling on the road one day, and he runs into this, traveling group of people, and he gets into a fight with them, and he kills, the main guy in the group, and it's his dad, right? And then he gets all the stuff, and he's feels guilty.
He finds out, I think, the king's dead.
Well, no. He goes back, and they're just the king's gone.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I know a king.
Right, and
and I'll show you a king.
He's like, what's up? I think her name's Jocasta, possibly. And then he,
shows her a king.
I've got to be careful here because but it's anyway.
Listen, that is a famous story about a fucked up thing.
It is a famous story about the pride in humans that leads them to believe they can evade their fate. That's the lesson of that story.
Is fate real?
No. But the Greeks believed that it was. So you heard it here first. It's not real.
You heard it here first.
It's not real. Fate. No such thing.
Anyway, so on the island, we're back to current island situation. Faraday and Charlotte are still at the beach with Jack and all them, and they end up sneaking away. And then it takes Jack a minute, to figure out what the hell, where'd they go? Oh, and he's with Jen and Son, and he walks up and says, "Where are they?" And Jen speaks Korean, and then Son says, "Oh, he saw him go into the forest." And then Jack goes, "Why didn't you say anything?" And then Jen, in English, says, "You said they were friends."
Yeah.
Don't be so certain in leadership with that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
That was a cool jingle.
I thought so.
Don't be so certain in leadership.
Yeah. No. So Jack and Juliet and Kate, they all take off to go, find them. And they're like, oh, they got about a 30-minute head start. And, of course, they've got the water hose on, raining hard.
Not so bad at night. Doesn't look as bad at night as daytime.
It was a pretty hard rain. So Juliet gets separated, and she's by herself in the woods. And I don't know if maybe they just really had like a small section to do filming in, or if it's significant that there's been multiple shots where the voices happen that look just like where Juliet was at. I don't know. But she goes out there, she hears the voices, she's freaking out, whatever. They have got the most amazing torches. I mean, what are they soaking those things in that they can withstand the water hose?
Well, if it's oil, if
where are they getting oil from?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. It's crazy. They've got like sophisticated.
They've had those sophisticated torches the whole time.
The whole time, yeah. It's crazy. But anyway, she hears the whispers, the voices. I thought, oh shit, I haven't seen the smoke monster in a minute. It's about to come and get her. But it doesn't. It's Harper. So she shows up, and Juliet's like, what the hell are you doing? And Harper's like, listen, Ben knows where you are. He knows that Faraday and Charlotte are here. And he knows that they're going to the Tempest. And so you should go. And what is it that she says? She says, Juliet says, like, why are you telling me this? It was a moment. It was one of those, like, moments. And I can't remember what she said. Juliet says, why are you telling me this? Greg will know.
Yeah, Greg will know.
Yeah. Anyway, so Jack runs up, like, right as Juliet has, like, Harper's gone. She's disappeared. Jack's like, what happened? Juliet's like, we gotta go. So they're traipsing on through the woods, and then they come upon Kate. Because where is she but in the woods when she shouldn't
just
be?
Wandering around, yeah.
Yeah, just...
Somebody told her not to be out there, so she went out there.
Yeah. So they come up upon her because she has had her ass whooped by Faraday and Charlotte. Like, she got pistol whipped by Charlotte because... And I actually thought that what Kate did was pretty freaking slick. She pulls up on them, and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing out here?" They gave her some bullshit. She's like, "Where'd you get the bags?" And Faraday's like, "I just
borrowed it."
And she says, "What's in there?" And he says, like, books or something. She says, "Let me see." Gas masks. That's when she gets pistol whipped. So, Jack and Juliet pull up, and Jack, of course, is looking at her head, and Kate's like, they beat my ass, and they're gone, and I don't know what's going on. And Juliet goes, I'm gonna go get her some water. And I said out loud, she's ditching. And she did. She ditched. Went to the Tempest. That's where they were. Everybody else shows up. It's a whole thing. There's a super tense situation where Faraday is trying to, like, he's at the computer and he's in a hazmat suit because you're led to believe that, like, they're trying to kill everybody on the island. And then they are saying that Ben is trying to kill everybody on the island with that gas that he used to kill everybody he ever knew, forever ago. And when I saw that he killed the whole village, I knew he killed his dad with the gas. But it did not connect with me that he killed the whole village with the gas.
Yeah. Killed everybody.
I knew he did it, but I didn't know how he did it. So
yeah.
I was like, oh shit, like...
The gas. He gassed him. Yeah.
Yeah. So Charlotte, there's a real tense standoff. Daniel is trying to disengage, make it inert.
Yeah.
I think is what he
inert,
said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's trying to do that. Kate and Charlotte get into a tussle, and Charlotte's like, don't you think that Ben would kill everybody on this island to keep the information from getting to the boat? And Kate has got Faraday at gunpoint, and she lets him. He has like 2 seconds left, and he disengages, inerts the thing.
It always gets down to like a second or 2 seconds.
It was tense. I truly did not know. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Did it bring you back to season 2 when the hatch had the countdown?
Yes. Yeah. And just like, and that ended up being true, the countdown.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, shit, it might really be, but because it was a Ben-centric thing, I was like, maybe not.
You had to have doubts.
Yeah, because he's a friggin' liar. He's a liar. So speaking of Ben, he is still John Locke's prisoner. Beat up, cut up, whatever. Locke brings him in some food and some clothes, and he's like, you've got 15 minutes to eat this shit and change, and you can maybe get a shower. And Ben ends up breaking, and he says, I don't know what you want, like, whatever. He spills his guts, and he takes Locke upstairs. There's a painting on the wall. That is not the first painting on the wall with treasure behind it.
Right.
I don't know what the painting is or what the other paintings have been, but there's art with treasure behind it. Important? I don't know. Maybe. So he opens it. It's a friggin' VHS tape of the Red Sox game that, which I guess that's the Sox game that he showed to Jack.
Right.
Taped it over, and it's Penny's dad beating up somebody, and Ben says that is Charles Widmore, and he wants this island so bad, basically to make it a tourist attraction, because where else can you see a man who survived a plane crash, who used to be in a wheelchair, and now he walks?
Yeah, Ben's suggesting that it's about a tourist attraction.
He wants to exploit the island.
Yeah. I always took it as more like not a tourist attraction, but selling like a miracle cure of
he's going to put a couple of resorts out there.
I would think if I were going to exploit that island in that way, it would not be with resorts. It would be with, I would find super sick people, and I would be like, hey, for a whole ass fortune, I will fly you out personally to this island, and you can sit out on it by yourself, and you will feel better.
I guess instead of resort, I'm thinking like retreat, like a wellness retreat.
Yeah.
Like that Nicole Kidman show we watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mushroom one. Yeah.
Yes. So you take them out there, they get well, and then they stay there, maybe forever. I don't know. But, so Ben is like, Locke's like, why didn't you tell me this before? And Ben says, well, it was like my last bargaining chip, so, And Locke says, I'll let you go if you tell me who's on the boat, who your spy is on the boat. And then Ben goes, well, you better sit down. And then the next frame is like Hurley and Sawyer playing horseshoes. And Hurley beats Sawyer out, and Sawyer says, how the hell did you learn to play horseshoes like that? And Hurley says, I guess I'm just lucky, which I thought was interesting. Mm-hmm. So then at that moment, Ben comes walking out with a pile of, freshly folded clothes. And Sawyer says, how the hell did you get out? And Sawyer says, Ben says, see you at dinner, and goes into a house.
Yeah.
So Locke he has spent all this time making this big show about, oh, look, I caught God, and he's in chains, and I've whooped his ass, and whatever. And then without consulting anybody, John Locke has turned God loose. Recap. And that's why he pisses me off. But yes, recap.
So, I think it's the Locke and Ben thing is interesting because, Locke is definitely, he's represented faith for the whole series. And he used to kind of joust with Jack about, but I think that
it was like ideology, but now it's ego.
Well, I think he identified in Jack that Jack is not really certain. So he's like, he believes in science. Like, Jack's thing is science, not like knowledge. I actually think the difference between Jack and Ben is that with Jack, you're dealing with like rationality and science. But with Ben, you're dealing with knowledge, right? So those two things are similar but different. So, because one of them leads to confidence and the other one leads to just like apathy, kind of. Like, Jack he's into science and he's into like being rational and all that, but it doesn't mean that Jack is 100% confident in all the decisions he's making all the time. He checks with people, but Ben projects confidence to John Locke all the time.
Well, there's so much like mystery in knowledge, and there's power in mystery if you can present it the right way. Like, you can tell me that 2 + 2 = 4, and I can't ever tell you that is not right. But you can't tell me that I don't know the person who figured out that 2 + 2 = 4 and how that all came to be. And I think that's Ben's whole thing. It's like,
I didn't follow that.
Yeah, it's like, I know a thing that you could not ever know and couldn't really prove.
Yeah, I think it's the projection of certainty that, because Jack doesn't project certainty, he just projects rationality. So when he's dealing with Jack, he can kind of it's like, I think Locke thinks he could convince Jack, but I think when you're dealing with Ben, I think Locke probably does not think he can convince Ben of like the way that he thinks, because Ben is, literally locked in a room, right? And doesn't look like he's bothered by that fact at all. And it's like, you're meant to have power over this person. Like, they should be begging to get out or whatever, but instead he's just reading, eating. And then one of my favorite things about the Locke and Ben dynamic is that Ben identified so quickly in John Locke that it is so easy to get under his skin with just a throwaway comment.
Oh my God.
John Locke doesn't seem that bothered when you address him directly. It's just like an under your breath comment. And
it's that off camera, I look to the side or the furrowed brow, and you're like, oh, I gotcha.
It drives John Locke crazy because Ben says, has a revolution begun yet? And then and then he just like went back to eating, and Locke's like tried to walk away.
What do you mean?
And the thing is, how does Locke not know at this point that the second that you turn away and then turn back, like, Ben's won that interaction. Yeah. So like, he's the winner.
And he Southern goodbyed that whole
like
situation
2 or 3 times.
Oh my God. Yeah, he brought Ben, the food and whatever, and said, you got 15 minutes. And literally, I think it was 3 times he tried to leave and could not. And that's a Southern thing. You've got to, like, step 1, you come to the realization, it's time to go. And you say, well. And then step 2, you stand up.
You stand up, yeah.
You hope, and you start kind of inching towards the door. And then step 3 is where you give hugs, and then you actually get to leave.
No, then you go out in the driveway and talk for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I actually...
But you just slowly get closer to the, the door or the car.
She's actually misrepresenting this. So the way that this actually happens when we go to our family's house is that Morgan will carry on and do the Southern goodbye, and I just bolt out the door and go to the car. He does.
He's a runner, and it is so rude. You know better.
I say goodbye to everybody, give them a hug, and then I leave.
You cannot just do it one time. If you only say goodbye one time, you're pissed. Something's wrong.
No. No. That's not how it is in my family. I guess I should be more clear.
The last time we saw his mom, it took probably 45 minutes for us to actually leave after we had both given soft signals to each other of like, it's time to go.
Yeah, but then when it was time to go, I left. Just got up and bolted out.
You did.
Yeah.
And I was going out the door going like, hey, sorry, we gotta go. We'll see you later, bye. Like,
not me, baby. That's not how it goes. Anyway, the Ben and Locke dynamic is going to keep getting interesting, but I think that Ben has something that Locke wants, and Locke definitely has something Ben wants.
Is it confidence? Because you could not ever, when Ben said, like, I'll tell you who's on the freighter, but you're gonna have to sit down. And I mean, Locke was like a puppy, he's like, please, yes, Daddy, please tell me who it is.
Well, Locke,
play it cool, dude.
Locke he wants to be a man of faith, but his faith is getting shaken a little bit, so he's turning to knowledge instead.
What is faith but being shaken?
What is it? Faith is believing in things unseen, and the reward of faith is seeing the things you believe. So he is meant to, he wants to be a man of faith. He wants to be like a sage and all that, but he is losing his faith because it has led him astray a couple of times recently.
Well, yeah, he's been made to be a damn idiot a couple times.
Made some notes on the episode myself. Wanted to shout this out just randomly, and I don't know why this stuck out to me, but so when Kate gets hit on the back of the head, and then Jack and Juliet find her later, Evangeline Lilly's hurt acting is pretty good.
Oh yeah, I was
injured person
she's
acting. I'm
been whooped. Yeah,
that groggy coming to kind of and I just remember thinking I think Evangeline Lilly is not an incredible actress, but she's really good at playing hurt. Well,
I disagree because I don't like Kate, but I bet you if I met Evangeline Lilly, she's not like Kate. I bet she's not like Kate at all.
Well, I don't think they asked her to do a lot with Kate.
Does that just mean she's a great actress?
We're just...
You give a vague idea and you've got the foresight to see it out.
We're defining great differently. So, who's Meryl Streep, Devil Wears Prada? I think Meryl Streep is probably the best living actress. She's incredible in everything she's ever done.
Yes.
Never.
What's her name? Miranda
Priestley.
She is Miranda Priestley.
Yeah,
and
but
also that chick from Into the Woods and the chick from Death Becomes Her.
Mamma Mia.
I've never seen Mamma Mia.
Yeah, she's and is it Sophie's Choice?
I've never seen Sophie's Choice either because I know what it's about and I refuse to watch it.
Don't watch Sophie's Choice. And then what's some other stuff that
she's been in everything?
Either way, she's incredible.
Is she the down?
That's Barbra Streisand.
Okay.
Not the same.
Rain on my parade. That's it. You gotta do something about this.
She actually did a really, really good movie called The Iron Lady, where she played Margaret Thatcher, and
that was good. That was Meryl Streep.
Yes.
I thought it was Margaret Thatcher.
And Julie and Julia, where she was Julia Child. She's really good in that too. Yeah, just remembering.
Anyway, we love her.
We love Meryl Streep and Evangeline Lilly. She's all right. Anyway,
she's no Meryl Streep, but I think she did a fine job.
She's a lot hotter than Meryl Streep, but
young Meryl Streep was pretty hot.
Yeah, well. So I wanted to make a note about something. Maybe Greg can help us out here. I noticed in the where they have the actors' names at the beginning, so the kind of pre-show credits.
Yeah.
Harold Perrineau was on there.
Mm-hmm. He made me rewind it and said, "Do you recognize those names?" And I said, "No."
Well, that's a little bit because I don't think he was in this episode, and he wasn't. Right? Why is Harold Perrineau his name still in season 4?
He's still part of the show, I guess.
No, but why don't they do every character's name?
He must have done a voice, or he was like an extra at the others' camp or whatever. Oh, and that's something. Jack is kind of grilling Juliet about Ben because outside of the Tempest, before all the shit goes down with Kate and all them, Juliet is like, "Hey, listen, basically we have to break up because Ben knows where I am he sent Harper to me in the woods, and she came, and she knew that, they were going to the Tempest. And so if she knows that, Ben knows that, he knows where I'm at, he's going to hurt you just like he hurt Goodwin. And Jack, they're, it was so good. They're standing together, and she says, like, he's going to come for you. And Jack goes, well, he knows where to find me. And then he kisses her. And I said, do it! Right now, do it! Both of you. Love it.
So, what do you think the title of this episode?
The Other Woman?
Mm-hmm. Why did they call it that?
Well, because Juliet represents, obviously, she's the other woman because there was an affair. Mm-hmm. But she's also representative of Ben's mom. And she's representative of this, like, strong woman who has given Jack this opportunity for some reformation. Because she doesn't need fixed.
She's the other woman with Kate and Jack.
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah.
And she's the other woman. As in a woman from the others. The other woman.
That's what I was getting to, was Jack was grilling her, and she said, it's not easy being another, Jack.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah. I think Juliet represents many female roles in this episode.
So, the combination, which...
I knew, it was like 38...
36...
36...
15... 28.
I knew there was an 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 15's one of the numbers.
I'm sure all those numbers are the numbers if you add them up and divide them and split them in 2 or whatever.
No, because 36 is not 1, 15 is 1, 28 is 1. Another thing I noticed, which I didn't notice the first time through because I wouldn't have been looking for this, when Ben takes Juliet out to see the body, mm-hmm. he's wearing a green shirt, like a noticeably green shirt. So, green, famously the color of envy.
Evil.
Jealousy.
Also, all the early Disney villains are green.
Yeah, but it's, I think the intent here was jealousy or envy. Because he is, and we'll get to art within the art in just a second, but Ben is, in this episode, quite Shakespearean. He's Shakespearean a lot in the show. But this particular one, Art Within the Art, there are a couple. So I was reaching for a second because in the beginning I was like, well, I don't want to do the book again because I know Ben's reading the book in there, but we already did that particular book. Harper is an interesting name to select for that woman. I thought maybe To Kill a Mockingbird. Harper Lee, who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird. I thought there might be some kind of a connection there, but there wasn't. And then it hit me as we're watching the episode, the name of the place where the gas is released is called
The Tempest.
The Tempest, which is a play by William Shakespeare, which is specifically about an all-powerful like overlord wizard figure.
Well, that is where you would keep a lethal, like world-ending bioweapon, basically.
Prospero is the character's name, and he can conjure storms, and he specifically conjures storms on an island to protect his daughter Miranda from the evils of the outside world. That is where you get the O Brave New World with Such People in It is from The Tempest, and that's like a reference to the people which she wants to meet off the island, and he's like, absolutely not. He's just like using the weather and systems to control her to keep her from getting off the island. So similar to how Ben treats his own daughter in this show, and how really he treats everybody, mm-hmm. and specifically how he treats, like, Prospero. Pretty sure his storms like kill people and stuff on the island. So Goodwin, fallen prey to Ben just because of his jealousy.
Yeah, and Juliet says, like, you sent him on that because you knew he would die, and Ben's like,
Yeah, that's the next thing, which is, it's not explicitly mentioned here, but that bears a striking similarity to a pretty well-known story from the Bible, which gets referenced quite a bit in Lost. And that is the story of David and Bathsheba. So King David, who observed a woman who he was attracted to bathing on a rooftop, and he fell in love with her.
I wonder if her name was Bathsheba before some man saw her taking a bath and wrote a story about her. Wonder what her name was.
Well, David didn't write that story, though. David didn't write that book. It was written about David, but David didn't write that book. And so he saw her, but she was married to one of his, like, he's the king, and she was married to one of his, like, generals. And he sent that general to the front lines to die.
Of course he did.
So he could be with Bathsheba.
Also, if you've ever seen The Conjuring, Bathsheba is the name of the demon from The Conjuring that's like in the mom from Annabelle the doll. Bathsheba.
Yeah. So
Scary. Why did she turn into a demon? Because she was pissed?
I don't think it's the same character from the Bible, though, in The Conjuring. What do you mean, why'd she turn into a demon?
Aren't all demons biblical?
I think that they just probably use that name in The Conjuring. Like, I doubt it's the same person. I don't know how you've connected this. Do you think she's the only person in history named Bathsheba?
Yeah,
No.
I do, actually.
No.
Okay, well... I never heard that name before.
If you heard it, you don't meet many demons named like John or Tracy or something. It's like they all have weird sounding names. I'm sure the person who wrote The Conjuring just heard Bathsheba and thought it was super weird and wrote it in as a demon. But she didn't actually do anything really wrong. I guess she kind of did, but like I don't know. Her husband, I actually can't remember from the Bible whether he died before David got with her or after her. But either way, like, it's eerily similar to sending her husband off to the front lines to be killed. So that happened. All right. So that's the last of my notes there. So let's go ahead and get to our messages in a bottle segment, which is one of my favorites.
Every time you say messages in a bottle, my brain goes, I'm a genie in a bottle, baby.
I think of the Men at Work song.
Men at Work.
Oh, wow. Is it Men at Work that sing Message in a Bottle?
Who's Men at Work?
I come from a land down under.
I thought that was Chumbawamba.
Women burn, men plunder. Can't you hear that thunder?
But I run, but I take
Oh gosh, it's not Men at Work. That's the Police. Sorry. And I was thinking of...
Is it not Chumbawamba at Land Down Under?
No, Land Down Under is Men at Work. Chumbawamba is... I get knocked down, but I get up.
Oh my god, it's the name of the band. Tub Thumpin'.
Tub Thumpin', yeah.
Chumbawamba is the band from... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I always think Message in a Bottle. The Police song?
Nope.
Okay.
Don't know that.
Uncultured.
I'm
All
young.
right.
I don't know the Police.
Sorry.
I know the YMCA, and that's it.
Sorry, my first job was in a radio station, so that's where I learned that. So let's go to our Messages in a Bottle segment and take a look. So let me go to newest. Sorry, filter that way. All right, so we've got a couple of pictures. I love when they take pictures of us.
I do too. I really do.
Rave party at Joe and Morgan's.
Hello.
I like that one. Morgan, Penny sucks, Desmond sucks. Oh, Morgan, this is Josh. Oh, Morgan, how you're going to regret those words as their story plays out.
Man, I really just don't know, because like the star-crossed lover thing, I connect to that emotionally. You know, I feel that. I know that people can love desperately across situations and time and whatever, but like in TV, I don't know. I'm like that.
All right, so Kira says, did I just watch Joe lecture Morgan about the numbers when earlier in the podcast he thought oscillate at 11 was connected to a lost number? LOL.
Hello, I know for a fact, oscillate at 11. He said that like 50 times.
Although Greg comes to my rescue. Let me help you out here, Joe. Technically, 1 + 1 = 2, and 2 × 2 = 4. See, we got you there. Saved your ass. You're welcome.
I bet you if you took...
Yeah.
1650, you could make it equal 4 if you really wanted to. Like, if you divide and...
16 is one of the numbers, and...
oh my God.
42 and 8 are two of the numbers in those.
Oh my God, those were just random numbers I pulled from my brain. It's in me. But anyway, like numerology, if you're good at math, numerology makes perfect sense.
Let's see. One of your best episodes yet.
Thank you.
From Greg. Thank you.
I thought it was pretty good.
Morgan, quote, I won't be done with Lost till I'm 70. This is a good opportunity to say to you both what I've been saying for a decade and a half. In my final moments on this earth, I'll be thinking of two things. My little girl and Lost. Mm-hmm. Morgan, your confusion re the time travel in this episode is 100% valid. It confused the hell out of me initially, too. What we see in this episode is consciousness time travel. Mm-hmm. Not actual real physical time travel. In other words, a scenario that is based on reality and plays out like it was real, but was only in the head of the person doing the time traveling. In this instance, Desmond, which is why Faraday has no memory of him. Same deal with the previous time this happened, aka when Desmond bought Penny the ring from Eloise, and the building collapsed on the guy with red shoes. This is important for an upcoming episode where we're expositioned an explanation about how physical time works on Lost.
Are we going to get an expose on time travel?
FYI, Morgan, Kate's pregnancy status was resolved in the previous episode, Eggtown, where she told Sawyer she wasn't pregnant, and Sawyer...
What the hell would we do with the baby?
Wooed with delight, upsetting her when he said, what are we going to do with the baby? And finally, look at my first note watching the episode. The lighting is different. Are you using a ring light?
Yeah, we got it again, too. You like it?
Let's see. We had a very fun time making... Oh, that's me. We had a very fun time making this one, especially the Istanbul, Constantinople bit, which I wanted to... That we were raving about that as soon as we turned it off. So
we were like, oh, that's so funny. Yeah, when I was watching the episode, I feel like I pretty quickly caught on to the whole, like, Desmond wasn't, like, physically leaving his body. Like, his body wasn't going back and forth in time. It was, you know, Desmond as a entity or whatever. But it's really hard to explain that out loud to somebody. That's what was confusing, was like,
yeah,
it's, you know, this guy, but not.
And we get Daniel just agreeing there. And then Morgan arguing with Joe. And there's
moving the goalpost.
Moving the goalpost, yeah.
Okay, I don't think that I'm moving the goalpost by fleshing out what I meant.
It's funny that mysteriously when you're doing that, you're fleshing it out in such a way to change it completely so that my counter argument doesn't work.
No, not even. I just sometimes when I say a thing, I know what I mean. But then when you ask me a question, it gives me more context to make that make sense to you. I already knew. I knew what I was trying to say.
No, you didn't.
I couldn't tell you what I was trying to say.
Because you weren't trying to say that. You were trying to say something
else. It all
else.
Makes sense up in here. You have no idea.
It all makes sense. It doesn't make any sense out here.
I know. That's why I got to take a couple of arguments before I can give you the whole thing.
Let's check and make sure we don't have any comments on the YouTubes.
On the Q-tubes.
I don't think so. But, oh, well. I'm sure it comes as no surprise. The Constant is a favorite. I've started watching your podcast several times and never watched the entire thing, but this time I made a commitment and it didn't disappoint. You guys are fun to watch. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Mike the Seeker, 1961.
Oh, thanks. I hope you make it through this one. I don't think this is as good as The Constant, so sorry.
So we have to go back. It's so up for interpretation.
I said this morning I was getting ready with Coraline, and either you or her, somebody said we have to go back, and I was like brushing my teeth or brushing my hair or something, and I went, we have to go back. Was it you or her that said something?
That was her.
Was it her? Yeah. And I said, we have to go back.
Most normal people think maybe it means once or possibly twice, but we know it really means we have to continue to go back until there are no unanswered questions, which basically, in my opinion, means forever. So, also from Mike the Seeker. Thank you. So thank you all for contributing. We love you.
We do.
And this has been fantastic. What's the next episode? We're approaching.
It's a Jen and Son episode. I don't know the name, but I saw it when I was looking up the notes for this episode.
Yeah.
Thank God. I would really like to know what's going on there. What is going on? Oh, yeah, because the reason that Juliet was crying when Goodwin came in with his chemical burn or whatever, his actual chemical burn, one of the moms had died on the island, and Goodwin said, like, it's not your fault. And Juliet said, I was brought here to figure out why these pregnant women who didn't conceive babies on this island, or who did conceive babies on this island, are dying. So, whose fault is it? Which, yuck. That's a lot of accountability for her. That's not fair.
Yeah, it's a Son and Jen episode. It's called Ji-yeon. And, that's Korean. And it's that, what was the name of the guy on Squid Games? Sung-yeon.
It was, yes.
Sung-yeon.
Yes.
That's right. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So next time we'll be talking about Jen and Son and maybe finally catch up a little bit. So, with Jen and Son, like, know what's going on.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to. And Jen's English, good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. He's doing really well.
Because he's on an island, which is helping his brain speed up that process a little bit.
Or he's surrounded by people who are only speaking a different language, and so...
It's both. It's both. Any questions?
No.
Comments? Concerns?
No.
All right.
Just glad you're here.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you for participating, and we will see you in another life.